solutions like this for different customers like this. So today we are here to talk about a custom solution called as the Tactical Operations app that we developed for an investigative government agency. Uh, it is also sometimes referred to as a short form for operations, tasks, and collaboration. Yeah, the problems in the existing process were the agency actually wanted to reduce the latency of registering cases that could potentially risk in losing lives or miss out on critical updates during start of an investigation, for example, a child abduction. Right? The existing process involved everyone driving down to the physical command post or probably a precinct, right, and getting handed a bunch of notes or case files to read through from. They wanted to set up a proper problem was they wanted to set up a proper form of collaboration across the multiple roles that are within the office, on field, or any other external agencies, right, that are working together to on a case. So this would actually help them to mobilize the required resources to start the investigation in a very short time frame. One other issue with the existing process was manual assignment of tasks, which led to rework sometimes and leaving no way for the case owner or let's say the coordinator here to view the task status other than following up individually. The solution that was envisioned and developed had the following features, right? Allowing the operational coordinators or the case owners to enter case details in a centralized repository, which could be accessed by the team even if they are within the office or on field. This allowed the information to be entered and percolate quickly to the relevant stakeholders. Uh, the other feature was quick and easy access to all of the information pertaining to a case, allowing better analysis, execution, and reporting. Also, tracking of those tasks to completion, right, and address requests for help or assign more resources as required from investigators. Right? Also, it also helped to set up alerts for investigators for tasks which have been assigned to them, and then allowed them to be aware of new task assignments and case updates as they go on. So we had three primary personas who, well, let's say the primary stakeholders of the app. We have the operational coordinators, analysts, and the investigators. So the operational coordinators were, let's say, the case owners or the primary people who would be interested with entering the case details into the app, right? They could create new cases, assign tasks to investigators, or also track progress to those tasks. Analysts were tasked with to record new case evidence, right, and get alerts for updates to a case, and also from let's say once and when investigators updated their task assignments also. The third person are investigators. They would use this app to get alerts to tasks that have been assigned, share progress and update tasks related to their individual tasks, right, and request for additional support in case if they want it. So this slide talks about some of the primary use cases for each persona. So the coordinator, as I said, the coordinator could view the details for a new case once it's entered, right? Get all the updates, and let's say for the analyst to get the overall task status. And then also one other feature of this was for the coordinators or analyst to share report with all case details, download and share with all the relevant stakeholders whenever they want. This is the architecture diagram for the app that we built. It's a relatively simple and robust architecture where the let's say the app users, right, the operational coordinators, analysts, or investigators log into the app through Teams. The app service is used to host the Teams tab for the app, and it supports the app single sign-on authentication. Information related to the users, teams that the user is part of, or creation of new teams for a case is all implemented using the Graph APIs. All the relational data, such as cases, task information related to a case, is stored in an Azure SQL database that we see. Application Insights is used to store telemetry data related to app events and also sometimes useful in exceptional handling. The key vaults were used here to store and retrieve any secrets related for API authentication or like external databases or cases. Let's start with the demo of the app. So I've logged in through the app by I have logged into the app as a operational coordinator, right? As an operation, not operational coordinator. Just a minute. Yes. Okay. I've logged into the app as an operational coordinator. What I can do is there's a command to create cases, right? I can use this bot command to create new cases. It opens up the bot responds with a card to that let me create a case. Once I click on it, I would be prompted to enter case details. I can enter the location. I can select the region. I can select the category of the case, right? It could be child abduction, homicide, extortion, kidnapping, right? I could do that. Let's say I select child abduction and enter a case as enter these case details. Let's say uh, the next step was that allowed me to select some channels. Now these channels were are can be configurable related to like the requirement. Right now we have configured based on the government agency that we are working with. But then yeah, this could be recommended as per different needs. So let's say I select some of the channels that we have, right, related to the case, and then we could enter the team member names that we would want to be a part of the team that would be created once a case is created. So the main thing to note here is the team members that you enter here would be once the team is created, all of the people that you mentioned here would be added as team members to that team. Um, I can go on and enter multiple team members, and then once I click on create, the case details would be entered into the system, and also at the same time, a team would be created related to the case, pertaining to a case, with all the team members added to it. I won't go ahead and do it right now, but then usually it takes about 40 to 45 seconds for the APIs, Graph APIs to kick in, create the team, and then add the members to that particular team. So once, let's say I create this case, right? I get a tab, I get a card in my personal scope related to, let's say, that says, okay, the case has been created, and I can navigate to the case. I can I can navigate quickly to the team. If you see this now, this is uh, um, one of the cases that was entered, and then a corresponding team that was entered here, created here. Uh, in the general channel for that particular team that was created, you can see a tab, right, which will actually have all the case details. It will tell the status, what the category was that was selected during case submission, and then it will also have the details that you have entered when you created the case. Now, let's say you are an operational coordinator or an analyst. You see this. Let's say this is a new case, or maybe even during investigation, right? You want to add some updates to the case. You would be able to add it through here, right? You can say the activity type related to this. Again, this is like as I said, this can be configured, but this is the one that we have right now. Um, so we could say, okay, confirmation, and then we could add the activity details, right? Uh, so we could add some updates to the case that everyone who is working on this case would be able to see, right? As an analyst or as an operational coordinator, you can delete those updates in case those are not relevant, or maybe if those are not confirmed yet, right? Also, you have if you see you have a tab here at the top called as task, which would also help you to assign duties to investigators. Now, let's say I can go in and I'll assign a case to an investigator here. Mm. I can enter this task. I can enter a relevant personal message if I want to send it to that particular investigator, and I can say assign. Once the task is assigned, you'd be able to see that like who is the officer name that the task is assigned with, and also task progress about what's the current status of this task. And in case if let's say the person is not available or they are working on a different task, we would also be able to reassign this task to a different person. Now, in a different tab, I have also logged in from the investigator persona. I'm just bringing that up, screen up here. So yeah, as I said, this is if you once the task is in Masa assigned, I'll get the investigator gets a personal notification in their personal scope that a new task has been added, and then they have an option to accept duty or let's say request for support. Once they accept they can click on accept duty that they have accepted a duty, and once the task is completed, they can click on it. Let's say this task is done, and then update this. Going back to my personal, going back, let's say going back to the coordinator view or the analyst view, right? I can see that the task status is reflected real time. Right? And then that tells me that, hey, this investigator has completed this task, right? And then, uh, so this is done. And then I'm now I can then go on and then check other task statuses or assign it to different people. Um, these are one, and then so once this is done, I can, let's say once a case is completed, you are satisfied with the progress, you can now, you have the relevant evidence to close it, or you could change the case status likewise, and then you could close it, and then it gets reflected that the case is closed. Also, you have this option to download a report. What it does is it basically gives you a report of all the case, and then it gives a like line by line update of when updates have been done and how they have been reported. You could go in and download it to your local system. The one other feature that this app can support is to announce. Now, let's say if you want to broadcast broadcast a communication or broadcast a message that you want to that you want it to be sent to everyone, right? And I can just publish this. What that does is, if we go, as I said, right, there's a team created for every case. The message that the message that we post is like sent in the general channel of the team to that for the case, right? So everyone who is part of this team, who is part of this case, gets this message in the Teams view. Um, and yeah, so as a battle coordinator or like analyst, I can see all of my cases that have been entered here. Again, in the personal tab, we have another tab here called as the case list. And I can actually see which are the cases that I have created and then what's the latest status of that, what's the current status of that. And if I need to navigate, if I need to navigate to the case detail, I can quickly go, just click on it, and then it will take me to the team for that particular case on the tab here. So I think that's all about the app, and then we can continue with the other parts.
Thank you, Yashrak. There's a question regarding the application.
Yeah.
Kirk is asking if the deletion of entries can be restricted to a specific individual.
Yes. Yeah, right now, I mean, the app does not support deletion because it's what the customer wanted. So if I go back to the screen, right, there's no way that I could actually delete a case, and that was as per the requirement. But then, yeah, as I said, right, we can actually customize it as per the requirements. And in case if you have, and in case if someone has a use case that they need it, that would probably help them if a case can be deleted. Yeah, of course, we can definitely do that.
Thank you. There are no further questions.
Sure. Going back. Okay. So this solution helped the government agency to solve their primary challenges, that was to reduce the latency in case creation, ability for everyone involved in a case to be aware of latest case updates, and collaborate with each other in real time. During the application was designed right, and developed by ensuring the government tenant restrictions are not violated, and they all conform to the tenant guidelines and limitations. Yeah, I think that's what we wanted to actually tell you about the app, and then yeah, would like any questions, would like to answer any questions that you would have.
Thank you, Josh. Let's wait for a couple of seconds to see if there are questions from the audience.
Sure. And yeah, in case if you are interested to build out a similar app with kind of similar use cases, or maybe even a different use cases, right? Putting to a different, please do not hesitate to contact us on this email ID that's shown on the screen. And I think David will also be able to share it to you separately.
So there's a question coming in from Kirk. He's asking if there are advanced features that you are looking for future releases, if you've thought about those.
Yes, right now. So what we have done is during envisioning, when we're working with the customer, we identify a set of primary use cases that they wanted to go in their, let's say, we call as the MVP. So right now, we are working with the customer to deploy it in their tenant. And then I think the plan is for them to see how it goes, open this up for multiple people, get feedback, and then in case if they have a requirement to, let's say, enhance it or maybe change some of the features and how the way that they've used, they will contact us again and we'll work with them to make sure that those are resolved.
Thank you. And as you said, there's always the capacity to provide a custom solution or custom features for customers. I think that's very important, as you mentioned a few seconds ago.
So yeah, the main thing, I think the main beauty of this is when we talk about customization, it's actually as per the customer's requirements. So we would be able to, envision the app with them, build screens to actually show them how the app would even look before it is built out, right? And once we have their confirmation, hey, that this looks good, this is what we wanted, we can go ahead and then build out the app for them in entirety.
Thank you. Yes, let's wait for if there are any further questions for a moment. So there are no further questions, Josh. You already have your contact information in the slide here in the final slide. We're going to be sharing the recording of the presentation to attendees of the session. And thank you so much for attending this session. I really appreciate it for all the help, TCS team, and thanks for joining. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending and looking forward to working with you.
Thank you all. Thanks a lot.